Every year, lakhs of tourists travel to Gangotri, one of the Char Dhams, to take holy dips in the Ganga River and seek blessings. Like Badrinath, Gangotri is well connected by road. We took a taxi from Dehradun to Uttarkashi and then from Uttarkashi to Gangotri. The total distance is 250 kilometers and it took us around 10 hours, including the time spent on breaks, to reach Gangotri from Dehradun. The taxi will drop you right outside the market. From there, it's a 10-minute walk to the temple. On the way, you will come across hundreds of shops selling stuff used in the puja or as offerings to the Ganga goddess in the temple. You can also buy some of these trinkets to take back home. Despite its religious significance, the Ganga River has been polluted a lot in urban and industrial areas. But in the mountains of Uttarakhand and places like Gangotri, its water is still crystal clear and considered safe for direct consumption. Since the water of Ganga is considered holy, many tourists fill bottles with water from the river to take home for use during religious ceremonies. Right outside Gangotri, you can find people from Banjara communities selling jewelry, Rudraksh mala, and deer musk. Like most dhams, this place is bustling with devotees, and during summer months it can get quite crowded. October is an ideal time to visit it as the crowd is less and the weather is also pleasant. In addition to the main temple dedicated to Ganga, Gangotri has multiple small temples and ashrams and even caves. One of the caves is called Pandava Caves. According to an old sadhu who lives and meditates in this cave, Pandavas stayed in that cave briefly during their exile.
नवंबर में यदि ज़्यादा बर्फ गिरती है तब तो 30 तक टेम्परेचर पहुंचेगा माइनस।
6 महीने अंदर ही रहते हैं इसी के अंदर।
हाँ, हम यहाँ रहने की बर्फ में रहने की विधि जानते हैं, उपाय जानते हैं। थोड़ी भगवान ने हमको, राम जी ने हमको थोड़ी शक्ति दी हुई है, तो इसलिए हम रह पाते नहीं, सबका रहना संभव होता है।
One of the must-see places in Gangotri is the Suryakund waterfall. When sunlight falls on the pale and smooth rocks, the view of the waterfall is quite breathtaking. There's another waterfall nearby. It's called Gaurikund and you can see it from this temple. Ganga originates from the Gangotri glacier and its origin point in the glacier is called Gaumukh. From Gangotri town, it's 20 km further up in the mountains. Gaumukh is also regarded as a holy place of pilgrimage by Hindus. So if you plan to go to Gaumukh, you'll also need a permit, for which you'll have to apply first with one of the travel agencies in Gangotri. Trekking agencies here don't have a fixed rate and some are asking for too much money for a 2-day trek. After wasting one additional day in Gangotri, we found a trekking agency that got us a permit and a guide for a reasonable rate. You will also need a medical certificate for the permit. You can get it from the medical center in the market. On the way to Bhojwasa, we came across a lot of porters carrying enormous amount of luggage on their back. These bags weigh over 30 kg and include bags, tents and food items for trekkers. I also came across this man who was carrying a dough from Gangotri to Bhojwasa. Though the trek to Gaumukh is moderate, for non-trekkers it can be quite challenging. The trek can take 2 days. On the first day, you can stop at Bhojwasa in the GMVN dormitories or one of the ashrams. Many tourists make advance bookings in GMVN guest houses, which can make finding accommodation difficult sometimes. We reached Bhojwasa by 1 pm and after a short rest and lunch, we decided to head to Gaumukh. After Bhojwasa, you have to cross the Bhagirathi River. The only way to cross it is through this single pulley, which is pulled by locals. In the afternoon, few people were crossing the river. However, the locals refused to help us cross without our guide. Unfortunately, our guide was still behind because another family traveling with us was too slow. They finally reached Bhojwasa at 5 in the evening. This crossing gets very crowded in the morning, as most trekkers try to cross it early so they can get to Gaumukh by afternoon and Tapovan by evening. Next day, after waiting for more than 2 hours at the crossing, we decided to head back as going to Gaumukh would have meant staying in Bhojwasa for another day. Since many people in our group had to join the office back a day after, we decided to head back to Gangotri and from there to Dehradun.